Credit card debt is at the highest level we have ever seen, but now delinquencies of credit card debt are at the highest on record. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. You don't. Okay, let's get serious here for a minute. I want to talk to you about what's going on with credit card debt. It's going crazy right now, and this is coming out after years and years and years of craziness, okay? Just take a look. You could see this credit card debt versus the total savings rate. That's not a good sign. People are not saving the money that they did before. They are spending this money. Now, you might say, hey, savings rate, I don't keep money in the savings account or whatever. That's not the way this works. It's a different calculation. And basically, what money is left over? What money is left over? That's how you can look at this figure, and it is terrible. It doesn't matter if it's 3% or 4% or 2%, whatever. People don't save. They have nothing left at the end of the day, and at the same time, they are spending on credit cards. I hear this from people all the time, whether it's on personal individuals that I have seen, talked to, I ask the right questions, okay, or it's people like that I hear from that they believe, inside Finance Friday. Shout out to Corey, who's telling me, hey, I see this and I believe that it's going on around me in the United States, and I think it's happening over here. I'm hearing it from everybody, okay? So it is a matter of fact that people are starting to realize that everybody's kind of just trying to keep up with the Kardashians out there. And maybe those people really aren't doing well. And now they're starting to see that, where those people are, probably overspending. But when things are great and things are fantastic and costs are cheap, well, it's okay. You can kind of get away with it. But as things get tighter and more expensive, well, not so much anymore. Of course, when you have credit card debt at 20% interest or higher, it is backbreaking. And that's what's going on right now. Certainly. People are dealing with this. This is not the only one. You got the buy now, pay laters. You got all these things. And of course, credit card delinquency rates were the worst on record. I didn't say that they're bad. I didn't say that it's, it's okay. We've been here before. No, I said it's the worst on record. Crazy, right? Because I thought it was already bad as it is, but apparently we got worse. Almost 3.5% of card balances were at least 30 days past due at the end of December. Okay, that's the highest figure since going back to 2012, up about 30 basis points from the previous quarter. The share of debts that are 60 and 90 days late also climbed. So people can't afford it. Stress among cardholders was further underscored in the payment behavior as the share of accounts making the minimum payments rose 34 basis points to a series high. People are basically pushed to the edge right now. They don't want to give up their habits, and yet they have no cash. They've got no money because their rent is too high, because their energy is too high. Their electricity prices are ridiculous right now. Everything. Stamps are going up. I mean, what's left? What is left? Come on. All right. Here we go. Consumer financial stress. You can see it for yourself. Accounts making the minimum payments. They got to make those minimums. They got to be making those minimums. But they're not paying the full thing off. I can tell you that. That's a definite thing. You can see the revolving balances have been increasing. No question about it. As soon as we started seeing that shift with interest rates, this made a big change for a lot of people, but it's like a strangling, it's a constriction that's been going on. There's no question about that. And look, this I think is fun. Well, the foundation you might be able to see on your screen that's involved in this, that's a whole different story. But it says continuing to explore the exodus from higher education. Are people fed up? Are people seeing the light? Are they saying, this education system is just not built for me. I just don't like it. I'm disenfranchised. Nah, I don't want that. Or is it a matter of money? Is it a matter of people saying, I can't afford that. I'm going to go in debt for the next, 10 years potentially. In fact, senior citizens, the amount of senior citizens in student debt, I think is, somewhat near a record, or to that degree. We're seeing people who, they may not necessarily have gone in debt 40 years ago. It might be more recent, but they can't pay that off either. So it doesn't matter what age people are. The cost is too high. At the same time, they're saying, what am I getting out of it? That's a problem because the cost will continue to go. It's a business, right? These colleges, universities, these are the first and foremost, they're a business. Business. Remember that. They're there to make money off of the textbooks that cost like whatever it is, $200, $100 for a silly little textbook. And then they change the version by changing 2 words in the entire textbook. Oh, you need a 10th version, not the 9th. You have the 9th version? No, don't come to my classroom. I mean, it's ridiculous. Financial conditions butt heads with borrowing conditions. Remember, there's 2 different things here. Financial conditions have eased quite a bit from where they were, but yet borrowing conditions are not good because obviously with rates being so high, people are borrowing. If you're take a credit card debt, you're doing that at 20%. However, financial conditions are in a different state. If you want to know more about that, link in the description under the sources. You can read about this, but I just want to make that clear. Okay, because the financial conditions, investors and so on, they're dealing with different stuff than you, the individual born on that credit card. Corporate debt defaults soared 80% in 2023. It could be high again this year. So the corporations are dealing with this problem too. And what happens? You might say, who cares? Who cares about the corporates? Of course, who cares about the corporates? But what's important here to understand is that if they are in trouble, they're going to fire people. So keep that in mind. Layoffs could increase. I started seeing the rumors at the time of this recording anyway. Tesla might be laying people off, like literally tens of thousands of people. A lot of companies are looking at doing that and have already started and been doing that all through 2023, now into 2024. Where are this year's tax refunds going? Right into a debt hole. With credit card debt at record levels, refunds are helping people make ends meet. So you can see they're paying that off, but it's just going on to pay the debt. Just like in the United States, what do we see in the United States? We are seeing the country itself. There's talk, depending on what happens with interest rates and so on, by the end of 2024, having to pay $1.6 trillion in just interest payments. 1.6 trillion. And that is, the worst case scenario. In the best case scenario, it's like 1.3 trillion, 1.2 trillion. Whatever. Give or take a few hundred billion, okay? There is no way they're going to pay this back. It's not going to get paid back. It doesn't matter if they start lowering interest rates. It's already a foregone conclusion. It's over. It's done. So you got to realize this. Think about this. This is what they don't tell you. If they got to pay that interest before I get paid with my infrastructure and with all that, what does that mean for me? It means my services are about to be cut. It means they're going to start slashing things. They're going to be cutting corners. You think your roads are bad now? Just wait. Just wait until you see what's coming. Just wait. The last time housing was at close to this level of affordability was 1990. Anyone know what happened to Canadian real estate in the 1990s? So they're suggesting we're going to see a deflation, a big crash. That's not necessarily the case. Prices can go sideways for a long period of time. Investors don't really go anywhere. People don't really do much. They kind of just sit on it. They just wait. What I'm noticing is a lot of people, they're underwater. Okay, this is important to note. A lot of these investors, they're just paying in. Like, yeah, eventually things are going to get better, and they're just paying. They might just give up. I've seen, a couple examples of that. So just be mindful of that. This is for Canada. It's going on everywhere. Affordability is down. Okay, borrowing conditions are not good today, and you got to, start adding all these things up. Skyrocketing U.S. debt could trigger market shock. I'm seeing it everywhere. All of these things are adding up. Why is it a problem when there's too much debt? Number one, the interest payments, those get paid off before anything else. The debt gets paid off. At the same time, if the government is issuing too much debt, there's just too much debt that we're spending. Why? Why is that happening? Because these governments want to spend so much money. In order to do that, they have to fund it. In order to fund that, they have to basically take their debt, they got to package that up, and they got to sell that to an investor. But then what happens here is they go crazy. We're going to spend, let's just make up a number, $10 trillion this year. Well, 10 trillion. Well, wait a minute. We don't have enough investors. So they either have to give a very, very attractive rate so that they can have enough investors to buy it up, or, and there's a big or, the central bank of your country has to then buy that up, monetizing the debt. In doing so, they directly devalue your currency and it spirals out of control. It doesn't matter if it's the US dollar or any others. What we could see here is way too much spending leading to, this uncontrollable scenario. Hopefully it doesn't go that way and it just slowly but surely erodes away. But be mindful of this. Watch out with this. I talk about solutions in my playlists on YouTube. But if you're interested in getting to the real depth of it, I talk about that on the Finance Friday. I talk about that on the Business Sunday live sessions. And only those, people who are willing to sit with me for 2 hours at each of these sessions are really going to understand this in depth. I hope that you'll be one of those. If you found this video informative, hit that thumbs up button. The link for that is at the top of that description right down there. Don't just go anywhere. Hit the thumbs up button. What are you going? Where are you going? You going to go see Janet? No. Janet's mine. You don't touch her.